William Stadiem is a best-selling author of many books including Marilyn Monroe Confidential, Lullaby and Goodnight, written with Vincent Bugliosi, and Don't Mind If I Do, a memoir of celebrity with George Hamilton, a New York Times bestseller upon publication this year. In addition to writing an Emmy-nominated episode of LA Law, he also wrote the screenplay for Franco Zeffirellis' production Young Toscanini, starring Elizabeth Taylor. And first of all, great to see you, and you have one of the best jobs in the world right now, and I want it. Tell us about it.
It's a lot of fun. I write whatever I find grossly interesting. If it takes me all around the world, I do. My book last year that just came out was called Everybody Eats There, and it was, in short, around the world in 80 meals.
Oh, fantastic.
And I went around the world to the best restaurants, the restaurants where the most famous and interesting people go over the years. And so it was an odyssey through classic places from London, Paris, Rome, Sydney, Hong Kong, San Francisco, LA, New York. It was a wonderful trip.
But what about jet lag?
When you're hungry enough, the jet lag fades away. You're thinking about the next magnificent meal you're going to have.
What's your favorite restaurant in the whole wide world?
That's a hard
I know,
question.
but if you were to say, okay, Mike, I'm going to give you a job and I'm going to send you to the best restaurant in the world to taste the food, drink the wine, and enjoy the ambience. Where?
Well, it would be hard to top a place like Al Moro in Rome. It's one of the oldest, most beautiful restaurants in Rome, full of all the most beautiful people in Rome. Rome has a lot of beautiful people. The actresses from Sophia Loren to Berlusconi, they all go there. It's a little restaurant with 3 rooms, maybe 20 tables, and the most magnificent spaghetti alla vongole you'll eat in the world, the most wonderful roast potatoes with a roast baby lamb, fabulous homemade ice creams and sorbets. And it was Fellini's favorite restaurant. And that restaurant's a 3-ring circus with perfect food.
So how do you decide on your books? Is it what you want to do? Is it a whim, an idea?
Well, things come your way. I mean, some years ago, a publisher called me out of the blue. He was interested in doing a book on King Farouk of Egypt. Now, King Farouk of Egypt was a name that I knew as a kid as the most richest and most decadent man in the world in the 50s, but that's all I knew. This publisher said he's the last king of Egypt and he's a king and nobody knows anything about him. And I said, I don't know anything about him. He said, well, do you want to learn? And I said,
yes,
why not?
Yes.
So I got to live in Egypt for a year and travel around the world because I did the book like the movie Citizen Kane, where I found 5 of his mistresses at different phases of his life, and I traveled around the world and tracked these women down, and each woman told her story of her romance with the king.